Welcome to Vigyan Setu Foundation, an effort to bridge science and society. The following presentation has been made by Vigyan Setu Foundation as a part of its commitment towards raising awareness among the society. This information is being given on the occasion of PCOS Awareness Month. Have you been introduced to PCOS before? Maybe, maybe not. This video aims to brief and equip you with just the essentials. In 1929, Austrian psychologist Alfred Adler coined the word lifestyle for the way a person lives. Gradually, the pattern of individual practices and personal behavioral preferences has led to rise in both physical and mental illnesses over a period of time. So day-to-day habits that replace physical activity with sedentary routine, shifts from nutritional food to malnutrition, added up with dehydration, lack of sleep and stress, is taking its toll on health, resulting in a number of ailments which are now being referred to as the lifestyle diseases. And these diseases are preventable, chronic and non-communicable, that are an outcome of our unhealthy choices. And one such endocrine disorder that affects the women of reproductive age is PCOS. So what is PCOS? PCOS is a four-lettered acronym, but it is not as simple as it sounds. Historically, this condition is said to be there from antiquity. Earlier published description of a person with what now is recognized as PCOS was from Italy, and the year was 1721. However, Stein and Leventhal are considered to be the first investigators of PCOS, who presented the cases with classical signs and symptoms of PCOS in 1935. Hence, sometimes PCOS is also referred to as Stein-Leventhal syndrome. Having known for more than 8 decades, it is still being researched and understood due to its underlying complexity. PCOS is considered to be a multifactorial disorder wherein various endocrine, metabolic, and genetic components contribute. Often, missed periods or failed conception prompts us to make a visit to a gynecologist. But when such reproductive disorder turns out to be coupled with hormonal imbalance and or metabolic disturbance, along with a family history if any, the arising complex set of signs and symptoms is known as polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS in short. Now let us explore these interlinked factors: hormones, metabolism, and hereditary, one by one. During the period from menarche to menopause, a woman's body undergo a number of changes to be ready for possible pregnancy. Under normal conditions, recurrence of hormone-driven events on monthly basis, 28 days on an average, ranging from anywhere between 21 to 35 days, is called the menstrual cycle. Typically, this cycle goes on for 4 phases: menstrual, follicular, ovulation, and luteal. Here is a diagrammatic representation of the hormonal fluctuations during each of these 4 phases of the menstrual cycle. Now let us go through each of these phases one by one. First, the menstrual phase. If the egg doesn't get fertilized, the level of hormones, estrogen and progesterone drop, which are otherwise required during the gestation period or the pregnancy. Thus, the thickened lining of uterus is now no more required and is eventually shed. As a result, blood, mucus, and tissues are released from the uterus through the vagina as menstrual flow. Such a condition is commonly known as having periods. The day this fluid appears is considered to be the first day or day 1 of the menstrual phase, and the next cycle begins from this day. This phase normally ranges from 3 to 7 days with an average of 5 days. Next is the follicular phase. This phase starts with hypothalamus signaling the pituitary gland to release FSH, that is follicular stimulating hormone. As the name suggests, this hormone stimulates the development of follicles on the surface of ovaries. Each of these small sac-like structures of follicle range from 5 to 20 follicles, which are at different stages of maturation, contains an immature egg. While one of these egg cells is maturing, follicles begin to secrete a hormone, estrogen. Estradiol, to be more precise, that thickens the uterine lining to prepare in anticipation of embryonic development. The follicular phase overlaps the menstrual phase, that is, starts from day 1 of the menstrual cycle and lasts until day 13. The third phase is the ovulation phase. Surge in estrogen levels during the follicular phase trigger the pituitary gland to secrete another hormone called LH, luteinizing hormone. This initiates the process of ovulation or release of an ovum or egg from the follicle. Ovum released from the ovary moves through the fallopian tube to the uterus, where it awaits fertilization by a sperm, only for a day, day 14. And if it remains unfertilized, it gets disintegrated in the uterus. The fourth and the final phase is the luteal phase. After the ovulation has taken place, the follicle that contained the ovum or egg transforms into a corpus luteum, which starts producing 2 hormones, progesterone and estrogen. At this stage, there are 2 possibilities. Either the egg gets fertilized or it remains unfertilized. Now, if the egg gets fertilized, progesterone released from the corpus luteum supports the early pregnancy period. And if it remains unfertilized, corpus luteum starts shrinking. With the regression of corpus luteum, the levels of progesterone and estrogen also drop down. This takes place post-ovulation, day 15, until day 28, when the next menstruation cycle resumes. Now, as a recap, here is a complete menstrual cycle. And let's move on to know more about hormonal imbalance. As mentioned earlier, hormones play a decisive role at every step in the smooth running of a menstrual cycle and fertility. When the ovary secretes less estrogen and more of testosterone, then maturation of follicles get arrested, and the number of such follicles become fluid-filled cysts. It results in anovulation, that is, failure to release the ovum. Anovulatory cycles are often longer than the regular menstrual cycles. Such a disturbance could be an outcome of disruptions at any of the levels: hypothalamus, pituitary, ovary, or systemic. Such irregularity in having periods could either be prolonged, not at all, or too frequently. Hormones like LH or insulin in excess could increase the production of testosterone or the male hormone. At the onset of menstrual cycle, if levels of LH are quite high, higher than the FSH, then the surge for LH during ovulation fails to take place. This does not allow ovulation to occur or causes anovulation, and the periods become irregular. Insulin produced by pancreas controls sugar levels in the blood. However, due to insulin resistance that inhibits the body to exert its effect, more amounts of insulin are produced to compensate the requirement. Thus, high levels of insulin causes ovaries to produce more of testosterone in the body. Apart from causing anovulation, it also leads to gain in the weight. This worsens the condition as presence of more fat induces the pancreas to produce more insulin. PCOS is at times found to be running in families where grandmother, mother, or sister if had suffered from this condition, then chances of developing it increases. This establishes the genetic link to PCOS. So in short, PCOS is an interplay of endocrine, metabolic, and sometimes genetic factors. PCOS is a syndrome, which means there are a number of symptoms associated with this condition. The three characteristic features are multiple cysts in ovaries, excessive male hormones, and irregular periods. Though signs and symptoms vary with an individual, but obesity makes it more severe in nature. Now, due to hormonal imbalance, many cysts appear in ovaries, thus causing the typical symptoms to appear. These multiple cysts are seen as a string of pearls in ultrasound. First and foremost, one experiences irregularity of menstrual cycle, delayed or missed periods. Then increased levels of androgens, that is the male hormones, may result in hirsutism, that is excessive hair growth on unexpected places, oily skin with acne, and male pattern baldness or hair loss from the scalp. Weight gain, especially around the waist due to insulin resistance, leads to higher levels of insulin in the body. Speaking of diagnosis, being well prepared would be a better way to visit the gynecologist. That is, with complete details of the signs and symptoms you experience, no matter how insignificant those seem to be. So do make a mention of any familial history of PCOS. These would provide a clue while deciding upon the diagnostic approach. In any case, physical examination, blood profiles, and an ultrasound would be the basic tools to identify the underlying causes to a certain extent. PCOS cannot be cured, but yes, it can be treated to ease out the symptoms. Timely medical intervention and proper follow-up can put a check on the development of further complications. PCOS often starts developing around puberty. If not taken care of, it could result in long-term complications with advancing age, which includes infertility, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, metabolic disturbances like high blood pressure, high blood sugar, abnormal cholesterol or triglyceride levels, thereby increasing chances of heart-related ailments, depression, anxiety, sleep and eating disorders, abnormal uterine bleeding, uterine lining or endometrium cancer, and the likes. Since PCOS is a lifestyle disease, introspection would tell what changes in the lifestyle are warranted. A good nutrition, balanced diet, regular exercise clubbed with physical activity could possibly make a turnaround in the life. This information on PCOS is not an exhaustive one, and it can't be due to its complex nature. But the bottom line is to be aware and take care. So be proud of womanhood. The Gyan Sethu Foundation team would like to thank you for watching this video presentation. Hopefully, you would have gained some valuable takeaways. We encourage you to share this video with your loved ones, family, friends, and connections. We have covered the content of this presentation in English as well as in Hindi language on our website, so do make sure you visit them. All of the links where you can follow Vigyan Sethu Foundation through our website, blog, or other social media sites are also provided in the description box below.